What if the thing you want the most is also the thing you're unconsciously avoiding? You say you want to be seen, understood, loved for who you really are. But the moment someone actually gets close, something in you pulls back. You change your tone. You filter your thoughts. You become slightly different. Not fake, just safer. And this isn't about something being wrong with you. So here's the real question. Do you actually want to be seen, or just an accepted version of yourself? The invisible defense. Most people think their biggest fear is rejection, but often it goes deeper than that. Rejection is clear. It gives you a reason to step back. But being fully seen? That can feel uncertain, because if someone truly sees you, your contradictions, your needs, your emotions, and stays, you lose and a different thought can appear. What if I still feel like I'm not enough, even when nothing is actually missing? Where this fear starts. This doesn't come out of nowhere. At some point in your life, being fully yourself didn't feel comfortable. Very sensitive, very expressive, and your environment didn't always respond easily to that. So your brain adapted. It didn't shut you down completely. It just adjusted you. You learned how to be likable, predictable, easy to connect with. And it worked. But there's a hidden cost. You were accepted without always feeling fully known. The subtle self-sabotage. Now, as an adult, you don't consciously hide, but you create small amounts of distance. You don't always say what you really think. You soften your needs. You avoid deeper vulnerability. And it's so subtle, you barely notice it. You call it being easygoing, keeping things calm, protecting your peace. But often, you're protecting yourself from being fully seen, because being seen means you can't fully control how you're perceived. The paradox. Here's the paradox. You want deep connection, but deep connection requires openness, and openness can feel like risk. So you stay in between. Close, but not too close. Honest, but not completely. Present, but slightly guarded. Enough to not feel alone, but not enough to feel deeply known. The trigger moment. You can notice this most clearly in specific moments. When someone asks a deeper question and you deflect. When you want to express something real, but soften it. When you feel the urge to say, "This is who I am," and hesitate. That hesitation isn't random. It's your mind saying, your mind remembers that this felt uncomfortable before. The real risk. But here's what many people don't realize. Avoiding being fully seen doesn't remove discomfort. It just changes its form. Because people can only connect with the version of you that you show. So even when they stay, even when they care about you, a part of you may still feel, they don't fully know me. The truth. Being fully seen can feel uncomfortable. There's always some uncertainty in how others might respond. But holding everything back has its own cost. Because every time you choose comfort over honesty, you reinforce the idea that the real me might not always feel easy to accept. And this is more common than you think. It's not a flaw, it's a learned response. The shift. So the shift isn't about suddenly becoming completely open. It's smaller than that. It's noticing the moment you're about to filter yourself and pausing. Just long enough to ask, what would I say if I wasn't trying to be accepted? That question alone can start changing your patterns. Not instantly, but gradually and meaningfully. Because in the end, being fully seen isn't only about other people. It's about whether you can allow yourself to be that visible, without shrinking, without editing yourself, without constantly adjusting. And maybe the real question isn't, will they accept me? But, am I ready to stop hiding, even if it feels unfamiliar? And maybe, that's where real connection actually begins.